The countdown for the touchdown has already begun. We're all waiting with bated breath for the successful landing, a soft landing on the surface of the moon of Chandrayaan 3. Tomorrow at 6:04 p.m. is when the landing is going to take place. A lot to expect. Take a look at how the entire process is going to unfold.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Plus 5 seconds.
Lift off normal, T1 tracking.
Auto tracking.
India's space program is hoping to soar higher, riding on the wings of Chandrayaan 3.
4000 LVM-3 M4 rocket.
See, by Chandrayaan 3 success, definitely it will give one big thing for India, a technology for soft landing on a celestial body.
To reach another planet and have a soft landing can be the beginning of human space exploration at a later stage if you need.
India's first lunar mission in 2008 put Chandrayaan 1 in orbit around the moon and found water molecules in lunar soil. 11 years later, Chandrayaan 2 was only partly successful as the lander crashed, but the orbiter, ISRO said, yielded Discovery-class findings.
Chandrayaan 2, unfortunately, the last part of the landing got into a problem. Otherwise, it would have been very great. That one is all being rectified in Chandrayaan 3. So it is a multiple set of changes which have been done on the Chandrayaan, that payload alone.
For Chandrayaan 3, ISRO scientists went back to the drawing board. They decided to go without an orbiter and cut costs by a third compared to Chandrayaan 2. The separate propulsion module is carrying a payload called SHAPE. While propulsion module will stay in orbit, SHAPE will look for signs of Earth-like habitable planets.
By landing at the near South Pole region, where not explored region, unexplored region is landing, and carry out the science there. So the Chandrayaan 3 mission is expected to bring something new scientific findings.
Yet the big takeaway will come from a successful soft landing on the moon. It will put India on top of the league of the select nations capable of landing an object on the moon. The soft landing of the Vikram will affirm ISRO's technical prowess, demonstrate the ability to conduct scientific experiments on the lunar surface, and gain knowledge of the chemical composition on Earth's satellite.
The rover will go around, take very close pictures of the objects there, and more than that, try to map the mineralogy using some of the sensors, and try to look for some seismic vibrations and so on. So it's a very important experiment, scientific experiment, as well as demonstration of our technical capability.
The achievement of Chandrayaan 3's objectives, besides bringing laurels to ISRO, could be the force multiplier for India's space industry. Bureau Report, Times Now. So it's a big day tomorrow. We're going to be celebrating all day, so make sure you're here with us on Times Now as we get you credible guests talking about the mission, the significance of it, and of course how the entire process is going to take place. We're also going to be reporting live from Bengaluru. But let's introduce guests this morning. K Siddharth, earth scientist and strategist thinker, joining us, and Dr. Ajay Lele, consultant of IDSA, joining us. I also want to call on our viewers to join us. Call us. The numbers are flashing at the bottom of your screens. You can call us and wish for the success of Chandrayaan 3. You can pour in with your wishes or anything that you want to say to the ISRO scientists. You can speak to the experts on our panel as well. Mr. Siddharth, I'll begin with you. You know, now just a few hours to go. There is a lot of excitement, yes, but there's also that tinge of nervousness among people across the country. Last time in Chandrayaan 2, as it was landing, there was a lot of excitement, but things did not go as planned. This time around, we've spoken about how lessons have been learnt, but still, there is a bit of anxiousness in the air as well. Wouldn't you say it?
Actually, I won't agree with you in this case, because we have so many built-in backup by way of redundancy. That means if one system fails, there's another one to take place. If another one fails, there's another one to take place. If another one fails, there is still another one to take place. We have taken so many precautions, we have taken so many cautions, and we have made it fail-proof. That means if this system fails, what will happen? What exactly will be the role of AI in this case, and so on. So it's not exactly so much amount of worry, because we are, as a scientist, when I see the instruments, when I see the camera, when I see the sensor, when I see the preparation, when I see the amount of a trial and error that we have undergone through, then I don't go on to feel underconfident in this case at all, that it will not be successful. Moreover, we have brought so many changes in the designs. For example, we have legs which are going to be stronger right now.
In fact, the landing space has also been increased. I request you to stay on with us. I want to also introduce a viewer joining us, Balasubramanian, joining us from Chennai. Thank you so much for joining us. Go ahead. All right, my sincere apologies. We don't have the viewer yet with us. Please go ahead.
So we have a stronger legs. We have greater amount of fuel right now. We have a good number of sensors. Imagine 11 cameras which are going to be monitoring that part. And moreover, we have an advanced, super advanced software. And to top it all, it is going to be AI-based and failure. Now, where exactly is it that it can go to fail? So anxiousness is not there. But then we want to carve a niche identity for ourselves in the scientific world. And we have seen so many more inclined towards disasters and things like that. But as of now, if you ask me, then every system has been made foolproof.
Okay, so it's a foolproof system, and we're, just inching closer towards history being made. Prabha is joining us on the broadcast. Thank you for joining us. She's joining us from Ahmednagar. Ma'am, क्या कहना चाहेंगी आप?
हाँ, मुझे बहुत खुशी हो रही है कि लैंड करने वाला है कल मून पर अपना यान, तो बहुत सारा एक्साइटमेंट है और ऑल द बेस्ट.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us. All the best for the program, as we have a little over 30 hours left. But Dr. Ajay Lele, what are your expectations? As Mr. Siddharth was also
already mentioned about strengthening the legs of the lander. So now lander is a sturdier system than the earlier time. And the other aspect which is related to it is that particularly the software part of it, because the earlier software had very limited options which were ingrained into it. Right now, the software, the algorithm has been more strengthened. This is basically because the ISRO has undertook lot amount of modulation and simulation exercises just to understand that what may go wrong, and if something goes wrong, what could be the alternative mechanism to go forward with it. So I think you got a tremendous amount of support from AI also. So things as of now looks very positive.
Okay, all right. We have viewers joining us. Mr. Hiramat joining us from Vijayapura. Thank you so much for joining us. What do you want to say, your wishes for Chandrayaan 3? Mr. Hiramat? All right. Ramesh also joining us from Bengaluru. Mr. Ramesh, if you can hear me, go ahead. Okay, we seem to be having technical difficulties. Both of our viewers not getting through. Let's check that. Mr. Rajesh joining us from Chennai. So if you can hear me, tell us the wishes that you want to give for Chandrayaan 3.
Very proud regarding our team. All the best to the team. Very thank you to the team.
Okay, we seem to be having technical difficulties again. We'll just reconnect that line with you. Lakshmi also joining us from Bengaluru. Thank you so much for joining us. Ms. Lakshmi, what do you want to say?
Actually, that was my wife. We want every success for the mission. We are confident that it will succeed this time. We are all praying to God also for the success.
Okay, praying to God for the success. I mean, like you mentioned, there are 1 billion prayers that are powering Chandrayaan 3. People from across the country have been waiting and praying for the same. But I also want to speak about the significance of the dark side of the moon, because India may be the first country to reach there. Remember, Luna 25 had also crash-landed on the moon's surface. Mr. Siddharth, if you can explain the significance of it, the reason why the dark side of the moon had also been picked.
You are asking about why is it that the Luna crashed? See, what happened was that is what exactly can happen is when you give a greater amount of power to the thruster, or when you go on to give a less amount of power to the thruster, In both the cases, there is a problem. When you provide data amounts, everything, because there was no communication, what happened was that it was not able to correct it, and rather than moving parallel to the moon's surface, that means rather than round and round, it followed a different trajectory, and it had to crash on the surface of the moon.
Okay, all right. We have a lot of our viewers joining us as well with their wishes. Shanti Swaroop joining us from Vijayawada. Thank you for joining us. Go ahead.
Namaste. I appreciate total Indian people and the government of India. Meantime, the total knowledge approach to poor, the rural area, madam. Total knowledge and development, how it is proceeded, total time, how it is implemented. Meantime, coordination other countries also. Next, further development also is coordinated. You get the knowledge, total knowledge. Knowledge means the moon landing is there, the total knowledge distributed first to rural people.
Absolutely. So it's India's time in the space, as we've just pointed out. Thank you so much for joining us. Many other viewers also joining us, but we need to slip into a very quick break here. We'll be right back. To stay with us.